All right, let's talk high school hoops now. For many around the Mid-South, this is the final week of the regular season, and then playoff starts.
Yeah, for some teams, though, like FACS, the Crusaders, they were already in the playoffs. They were actually led by 8th grader named E.J. Blount. Pretty good player, right? Unfortunately, the Crusaders' season came to an end Tuesday night in Jackson. Didn't help. The Blount had a season-ending knuckle injury, though, a few games ago, kind of held it back.
Yeah, we wanted to have Coach Shelby Rose on the program while they were still in it, but we'll have to table it for another time. But we still have really good private school hoops in the Mid-South. And our guest today is the head coach of a team that's probably the best private school ball club in the Mid-South and making a case as the best basketball team in the Mid-South. We're talking about the Briarcrest Christian Saints. And joining us now on the 24th floor is the head coach, John Harrington. What up, Coach?
Hey, guys, how are you doing?
We're good. Not as good as you, though. According to your record, you're doing all right over there.
We've had a good season. We've had a good run so far.
So, Coach, let's look at the numbers. 23-3 record overall, undefeated in district play, 12-game win streak, ranked number 8 in Tennessee by Max Preps. Just kind of talk about what has been the key to you all's success this season.
Well, actually, we're 27-3.
27-3. Okay, my bad.
We're actually 27-3, and we finished the region undefeated. We won the region last weekend, so we've got two non-conference games this week, and then we start our playoffs next week.
So with that, I mean, first of all, put some respect on the record, right?
Yeah, I'm missing 4 games. Damn, Max Preps ain't helping me out.
What would you say has been the biggest thing on your team so far that you've seen as far as to have that kind of a record? Because you've got some talent, you've got some size, but it takes more than just talent and size.
Well, we've got a lot of seniors, and we've got 2 that have really bought into their role. Everybody knows we have Fred Smith, who is a senior and Mr. Basketball finalist. He won it last year. We've got Parker Pounds and Andrew Story, who are 2 seniors, and they both shoot over 45% from the three-point line, along with Greg Spite, who also shoots 45%. They spread the floor pretty well for Fred and for a kid like Josh Huggins, a really good sophomore that we are starting.
So, Coach, when you talk about the teams you've played, you've swept Christian Brothers. I remember I was at that game, and you all went in a place that has kind of like a college-style atmosphere. It can get really loud in there, and you all kind of made it your own when you went in and beat them. And so you swept them. You swept MUS. You beat Chattanooga Prep, a team that is built for the big time. You beat Brentwood Academy, beat Arlington, beat Lausanne, beat Kirby. These guys seem to be ready for the big moments. How do you guys kind of stay poised? Because I watched you on the sidelines, and I remember I was there for the MHEA game. MHEA went on like a 6-0 run to start the game, and I remember, you were not happy, and then next thing you know, it's just like the switch turned on, and you just dominated them, and you look at the final score, and you're like, good Lord, was it ever close?
We've played, I guess, close to 30 games this year. We've played some really good teams. We've played Duncanville, Texas. We've played I think, Maryville's in the top 5 in 4A. We've played Brentwood High School. They're at there. So when you play a lot of good teams, you know that your team can play at a certain standard or certain level. You just got to be patient with high school kids. Eventually they'll come around. Hopefully you get it done sooner than later. But in a game, there's going to be adversity. You're going to start out slow, or you're going to start out hot, and the other team's going to come back. So there's going to be adversity sometime, during your game. So you just got to be prepared for it, face it head on, and starting 3 seniors really helps us out a lot.
When I watch the highlights of your team, when we watch your team play, one of the things that sticks out to me, and I'm a big basketball junkie, is ball movement. When I watch a team play, teams that move the ball well just seem to play well together. They're defensively locked in. Everybody's involved and engaged, and I see a ton of ball movement on your team.
Yeah, we try to teach, passes equals points. And, the old San Antonio Spurs would pass it, 15, 20 times in a 24-second shot clock and still score. I guess it helps that your best player is your best passer. Fred Smith is averaging, close to 6 assists a game, and he's our best player. And so they know that if the best player is going to be very unselfish, then, I guess everybody else has got to be. A lot of the kids, reap the rewards of what Fred does out there. So, we're going to play team basketball, but we're also going to, we've been blessed enough to have some really good players to shine those kids. For example, Fred and Josh.
So, Coach, I call Fred Smith the main one because he seems to be all over the place. A lot of times he's at the top in scoring. He's your leading rebounder. He can even get up there and assist. I think he had 5 assists in the win you all had against Pure Academy. A guy like that, and I don't want to sound biased, and I know you're going to go to bat for your guy. He's a guy who I think probably should have been a McDonald's All-American. And when I saw that he wasn't selected or wasn't even in the conversation, I'm like, do people kind of know how good this kid is? So help me. Am I tripping? Do you think that Fred should have been a McDonald's All-American, or are we just being too biased?
I think Fred could go to any team in America and help make them better. And when I say that, he could go to an IMG, he could go to a Montverde, because he's going to be a willing passer. At 6'8", he can also score. I mean, he could play any position for him. He could play point guard. He's our backup point guard pretty much. So yes, here's another thing. Fred's playing on a team that's got Josh Hugginson averaging 18 points a game, and Parker Pounds is averaging 13, and Greg Spite's averaging 12. What's that? Close to 50 points. That if Fred was on a team by himself, he could be averaging 25 to 30 points a game. But he's got very good players beside him.
Man, that says a lot for the kid, which just helps you understand how successful he's going to be long term, because he understands it. He understands the game. He understands how to make people better around him, which is sometimes something I don't see a lot of. I see a lot of ISO basketball at times that drives me absolutely insane. So when I see a great player who knows how to play within a system, within a team, and make his teammates better, it's always fun to watch. Coach, what's next? Like, what's your hurdle? Not game-wise, but what's your hurdle as a coach when you've got them now? What do you have to make sure they're better at before your playoff run?
Well, to be a state championship team, and we've won a few, and we've been in a state championship game, I guess, the last 3 years. I think the thing that you got to be good at half-court offense and half-court defense. Good teams aren't going to be able to press each other. We'll press a little bit here and there, but not in the postseason. Those are good teams. So you've got to be really good taking care of the ball. You got to be very good at defensive rebounding, only giving the opponents one shot, per trip down the floor. You got to be lucky. You got to make some shots. Of course, stay away from those little nagging injuries from time to time. Sometimes you got to get the right draw in a bracket. So, that's basically, in the season, we'll play a lot of Friday, Saturday games on purpose. To get them ready for the state tournament. We've sort of gone away from playing Tuesday night games, but we'll play Friday, Saturday, so the kids will understand, all right, we played Friday night, got to get ready for Saturday. Here's the state championship game. So it's a long-term thing to get ready for a state championship.
Coach, what makes you the most excited about this? Because I've, over the years, have grown to be more excited about high school basketball postseason. And maybe it's because I've been covering it. And I remember at previous stations I've been at and just kind of seeing the runs from the district tournament to the state tournament run. It can have way more drama than that you expect from college basketball, from a March Madness run. And maybe it's because, we really relate to the kids and they're being from the community. What gets you excited about this? Because you've been doing this for such a long time.
That's so true. What you said is that the high school kids are going to play for their buddy next to them. They're going to play for the kids in the crowd. As you get older, we got Austin Nichols on our staff. He's the first one to say, college basketball is not as much fun as it is in high school. High school is fun. And a lot of times you can't script what takes place. You can't script a Christian Brothers Briarcrest basketball game. You can't script a MUS versus Briarcrest. You can't script the 2,000 people that are watching you play, the excitement, the fun, and like I say, you're playing for your teachers, you're playing for your faculty, you're playing for your parents, you're playing for the kid next to you. They're not playing for NIL money. They're playing for the love of the game.
Yeah, said it. I don't think we could say anything better to end this segment than that right there. Those high school kids are playing for the love of the game, and they're doing a great job of it. Coach, want to let you go, and we know you have other things to do besides just sit around and talk to us all day long,
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And go Saints.
All right, good luck to you, Coach, in the playoffs. I have a really strong feeling they're going to do really well.
When the Saints go marching.
Don't start singing. Just go to break. Don't sing. Just go to break, brother.
Let's take another break when we got more 24 Floor coming back after this.